What's going on, guys? Seth and Chevy here. We just watched episode 6 of season 2 of Jujutsu Kaisen. We'll be talking full spoilers ahead, so if you had a chance to watch... No, season 3. Season 3. But the other show we're doing season 2. Season 3 of Jujutsu Kaisen before somebody in the comments goes, hey, fucking, you don't know what you're watching. Yeah, so we'll do a real quick recap. Hopefully you've had a chance to watch the episode, though, because we're going to go full spoilers. Okay, so basically... in this episode, I forgot the girl's name, but they're basically trying to have a conversation with Hikari, and they go through a lot to do that. Fukushiro and Panda go up against the girl, I can't remember her name, in a very crazy 4D chess fight to figure out her ability and to basically defeat her, to get her to even listen to them because she's not interested in doing that. All the while, Yuji and Hikari are going at it from the that room they were in. They end up coming up into the parking lot that they're at, fighting after all the crazy shit that happened with the car getting thrown at Fukushiro and stuff. And yeah, he basically, Yuji lets Hikari punch him unguarded multiple times to prove that he's here for a reason and to show his passion to Hikari, saying that he's only a cog in the whole machine of everything. And after a couple hits, Hikari is willing to listen to what they have to say, so we'll hopefully get that in the next episode. And then we end the episode with, I think this is a new character,
at least to my knowledge as well,
being introduced, unless they were shown in past episodes. I don't remember them. Basically defeating somebody and adding a new rule, which is anybody can look up information on anybody who's participating in the Culling game, what rules they've added, and what colony they belong to, or
how many points they have.
Basically, because they're looking for someone who's powerful, and they don't want to just go through everybody who's not going to give them a challenge. They want to go straight for the people who not only have a lot of points that they lost their points, but who's making rules in the game, because that'll give a good indicator on that they're making their way through people.
Yeah, they also mentioned, or they asked where Sakuna was, so obviously probably have some history there, or at least some knowledge / interest. So.
I think their name is Hajime too, but they're looking for Sakuna because obviously Sakuna's
big baddie,
powerful. So at least they can get right to it with that. So gives you a little indicator on either this person is powerful or thinks they're powerful. So thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed the episode. We were kind of talking about this before recording. It's a little rough because obviously we're watching it in Japanese, we're reading subtitles, we're watching the action, and then this season is just all info dump constantly. And so there's a lot of moments where I have to stop and just process what the hell just happened. And that's just been consistent this season. I'm not complaining, it's been a lot. So
it's a lot to digest.
Yeah.
Especially with the other shows we're watching, like this one, I'm just okay, there's a lot of stuff I got to keep track of.
It's also just a far cry different from where the show began. So
yeah,
but enjoying it. Had fun with this episode. The explanation of the constellation power was pretty interesting. I actually liked how they went through how much detail was basically in. It's also just a very specific ability to have. You basically have to mark 5 objects, and then you have to play this game of do it A B C D E F G basically. So. But it was kind of cool, and it was also neat to kind of see them break it down. And he had some fun moments in there too, where he's taking a guess, shot in the dark, but he's a terrible liar, and so it shows on his face. But then he nails it, and they're terrible. They have a terrible poker face, and they reveal that he's correct. So it was just this really fun little moment there too. In that, also just every time Panda's getting smacked or thrown around was just comedic relief, and it was supposed to be a serious fight, so
it was also a more interesting, not that I would want to see this in every anime, but every anime has a moment where somebody's trying to figure out the other person's power or ability.
The glasses push-up moment.
Or where they're like, they fight for a second, they're like, oh, or somebody will explain what their ability is, or whatever. There's always something
Especially
like that.
in
And
old anime.
so yeah, but even a newer one, I see it all the time.
Yeah.
Somebody will like mentally be thinking about like, oh, they must have did this or whatever.
Right,
and
right.
now like they're figuring it out and it's just letting you know. This was an interesting way to kind of do that in a more gamified way, which I thought was kind of fun.
Well, we also, and I do prefer when people are like internalizing it, because like as the viewer, we're still getting the information, but it's not as like cheesy to me as like the person who stands there, shoves their glasses in their face, and is just like, I'm so smart that I'm just gonna tell you all my secrets.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, this is so dorky. Like it's just a tired trope.
Yeah.
And like, if it happens in a show, whatever, I don't care that much. But I like the version of it where like the person's figuring it out in their head, and they were still in motion the whole time. Like we just kind of got into slow motion while he was, dodging and jumping around and like trying to process everything. It was just a better way to do that. in
And to my point too, it's even beyond just what they're processing, because they were both processing at the same time, and there's almost like a game of it of trying to figure out each other. So that was kind of cool.
Yeah, it was handled well. Yeah. And then Yuji being Yuji, and he's like, how am I going to solve this? Well, I'm tough as nails, so that's just how I'm going to solve this. So, but he was also against I can't remember the dude's name, but his VA. I noticed it was Zoro this time. For some reason, I didn't notice that last time. For all you One Piece watchers, you probably noticed immediately as well. But he's just like letting him pummel him, and dude's just so like in the moment, he's just gonna keep punching him. And then he's the interest of his, off in the distance, like, hey, don't you feel passion right now? He's like, you're right. Okay, like let's go have a talk. So I don't know. It was such a weird like encounter, because it's a fight, but it wasn't a fight.
Yeah.
So.
And we don't know this character that well anyway, so
Yeah.
we're kind of taking their word for it on this is how he is, and she
Yeah.
knows and whatever. But yeah, we need to get to know him some more to really have that, I guess, mean much.
And then the reminder that the colon game is happening.
Yeah.
Right. And that it's actively happening.
Which I kind of like. I know they keep talking about it, but in my head, from what we've seen so far, it's like hasn't even started yet. Even though it has,
Yeah, it's been
it hasn't.
going.
It hasn't felt like it.
Yeah.
And so to have something happen, I'm like, oh, okay, that is happening right now.
And it was actually, I think, really good, because it shows that these events are happening, even if our main cast isn't part of it right now. So, I mean, it was a good episode, and had a lot of like information for the amount of short. It was effectively just a convincing these guys to help episode, right? But it was fun. It was done really well. So,
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I enjoyed seeing Panda and having him part of the action. I liked seeing a lot of Fugishiro's abilities, even though a lot of them just weren't working. The bunnies making a comeback, which was fun. Fugishiro going through the windshield of a car was wild.
and graceful at the same time.
Yeah, I'm surprised he made it out so smoothly. And then what we were talked about with I wish I could remember her name, but her and Fugishiro's whole trying to figure each other out stuff I enjoyed, but admittedly was a little rough to follow at first, because I'm just like trying to watch the action of what's happening but also read what's going on. So just problem with not understanding the language while watching it. So and didn't feel like rewatching it because we had to do that with one episode, I think.
It's like the
Episode one, or no, like 2 episodes ago.
Yeah.
So much shit had happened. We like watched it a second time. We're like, wait, what the fuck happened?
That was the Maki episode.
Yeah, which was a great episode, but the information part of it, I was like, I need to go back and get
Time
that
out.
again. Yeah, because the action was great, but there's like a lot that happened in that episode. So luckily, this one wasn't as dense as that in terms of what was changing in the story.
It was very contained.
Yeah, and for me to feel, really anything about the Hikari situation, it's cool that like Yuji proved himself basically, but I need to see more of a dialogue between them and know more about him and his past, and just to get a stronger opinion on Hikari. So, but I'm glad we are finally, past the point where we can get a dialogue going. And then, the reminder that the Culling game is happening was nice, because like I said before, I already kind of, it's just not present in my head. I'm thinking about currently what's happening on screen and not that's happening. So curious about this guy, curious to see, how powerful he is. He like walked by that like little entity thing and he was translucent or transparent. So I don't know what's up with that. Did you notice that? He's like a ghost. Because you could see the little dude through him when he's walking at him, and then he walked through him.
I missed that very
Yeah.
well.
So I don't know if he's like a ghost or like I don't know what the hell's going on there. Unless it just looked like that. I don't know. But he's been around for 400 years apparently, at the very least. So, interesting episode. Definitely interested to see where it goes from here, and hopefully we can get the whole Hikari getting on their team or not situation figured out, so we can get to where things are going with the Cullen game, because I'm curious to see that get rolling. So
Yeah.
but yeah, good episode. You got anything else?
Nope.
All right, let us know in the comments what you guys think about this episode. What were your favorite parts, least favorite parts, if you had any complaints at all, if you have them, and favorite or not favorite, anything that happened in this episode that we didn't talk about, you want to talk about, let us know in the comments. And where do you think things are going? Unless you know, please don't tell us. No spoilers. We haven't read the manga at all, so this is all blind for us, and it's a lot more fun that way. So thank you for your consideration on that. And yeah, recommendations. If you have any recommendations for shows to watch, we can't watch them this season, we're packed, but next season possibly, if it's not crazy, we can watch something. So if you got a movie, anime, TV, whatever show that you'd like us to watch, we are open to most things. And yeah, I think that's gonna do it for this episode of that's TLG shit. Thanks for watching The View. I'm Seth, this is Chevy. Until next episode, we will talk to you guys later.